In this tutorial, I'm going to show you how to colorize black and white pictures, how to make a picture from this to this. Now let's get started. So in order to make this happen, you have a few choices. One of them, and I tried it before, is through a website. There's a website with an API that lets you or let them do the work for you. You just upload a photo black and white and they will colorize it for you. Well, colorize it. There will be some color on it. If it's the right color and it corresponds to the reality, I'm not so sure. I had a few tries, a few of them were okay, other ones were really not so good. And also the problem is that they downscale your picture that much that the resolution is so low that it's actually useless, the pictures that you have. So what is the other option? That is software. I'm sure that there are many programs out there where you can do the things that I want to do, but the one that I tried and for me works the best is Codijy, or I'm not sure how you pronounce it. I think it's Codijy, something like that. You can try it for free actually. There's a 15-day trial. You can do whatever you want for color grading. But if you export the image, then it will have a watermark in it. But you can buy it. Actually, I'm not so much a fan of buying stuff. Mostly I just use the trials, but this one actually is worth the money. So maybe you should check it out. I will leave a link down below to the website of the software you can download and even buy it if you want. So I'm going to use this software and I'm going to show you how it's done. Okay, let's get right into it. First of all, this is a software. It's not big. It doesn't look too difficult. It isn't too difficult. So keep in mind, it's the first day that I have this problem. I actually never did something like this before, besides a few test pictures I did earlier today. So don't expect the grading to be perfect because it will be far from perfect. But I will show you how you can try to make it as perfect as possible, or how you can make it to your own feeling that you feel that it's good, the colors are good. So let's first quickly go through the options. On the left side, you have your panel where you can choose which tool you want to use. Well, mostly we will use the pen tool, the erase tool, and having the ability to draw lines. For the rest, I don't really use anything for the moment. Maybe later on, when I get more and more used to this program, I will. But for the moment, we're only going to stick to a few of those tools. On the right side, you have the color libraries, which actually gives you a list of things that might appear in pictures, like break clouds, ground. You will have skin tones. You can even have colors of eyes. If you click on them, you get a wide variety of colors where you can choose from. Sky, you can choose so much. Water, wood. So we're gonna use quite a bit of that. So that's basically the things we're going to use here. Not too many options I use for the moment, except this one. It is to process the image, to render it, and to see what it will be. So, okay, let's get started. So, actually, you can start with whatever you want. For some reason, I like to start with the skins, and then I work further on from there. So, you select people skin. You choose which one you want. In this case, Laura and Hardy were European people, so I will take this one. And it gives a big variety of skin tones, really a huge amount of them. I always find it very difficult to choose one. Why? Because actually none of them matches really a color of the skin. But it's because you see it in a flat color image. And here, well, there are some gradients, and the program will detect it. So what is a flat color here will be more decent here, or should be more decent here. But for now, we need to select a color. So like I said, I find it always a little bit difficult, but maybe let's take this one. So we go to the pen tool, and here you can see we have our little cursor. If I draw a line, you can see that I'm drawing the color that it will be. Now, don't get confused. It's not that I have to paint this like you do in Paint. No, you just have to mark mostly the edges of where that color will be and where the color will stop. So it doesn't have to be too precise. That's for afterwards. So I'm gonna select the skin that I want to have. I'm gonna select Oliver's face as well, like that. Of course, we have the hands as well, so I will select those two. As I said before, we don't need to be too precise. In the end, we will have to change, or we have to optimize a lot of things. So even here on the legs, we have a little bit of skin that should be colorized. Even here a little bit. So I think I've covered most of it for now. Now, what I do a lot of times is that I already render to see what it looks like. But if I render now, you will see that it will only render the colors that I have given to the image without any borders. So let's do this. Let's see what it does. You can already see in the preview that looks all reddish, a little bit pink. Actually, it is the color that I applied to the skin, but he applies it to all the rest because I didn't set any borders yet. So I have to make borders to say this is white, this is jeans, this is, so that's what I'm gonna do right now. So I'm just gonna skip this thing. Okay, so a few minutes later we have the rendered view. So you can see the skin tone looks quite good, but it was applied to the whole picture. So actually, sometimes it's better to first draw a few of those other color lines before adding just one of them. But it's all good. So here in the bottom, you can go back to editor. You can see the colors that we have added like a few minutes ago. If I want to change them later on, I can just erase them and put a new color. But I'm gonna let it sit for now just because I cannot, when I see this result, I cannot see if the skin is correct or not because everything looks a bit, yeah, screwed up. So let's go to the next thing. So maybe we should start doing the white stuff here, their shirts. So here you have fabrics to choose from. Well, actually, I just look until I find colors that look a bit like it. So this is kind of whitish. If you hold your control button and you scroll, you're able to zoom on the image and it makes your life a whole lot easier. For this, I'm going to use on the left side here the line drawing tool. Why? Because it gives me, or it saves some time for bigger parts. So I'm roughly gonna go around the places that should be white or should have the color that I want to apply. And again, it's not that I'm gonna have a flat white shirt. It's gonna keep all the gradients included in it. So I'm gonna do it quickly, but not too quickly. Actually, I don't have to be that precise. Let's just do it like that a little bit. So, okay, whoops. So this is that part. Maybe it's a bit easier for those small parts. Just do it like that. Because you really need like a steady hand to do this, especially if it's voila, up to the details. You don't want to mess it up. You don't always have to border everything. So here I'm just gonna draw a small line just to indicate like, okay, there's some white stuff. Here I will have to border it. Why? Because we have to include those jeans colors later on. So if I don't do it now, I have to do it later on. So I'm gonna quickly mark his arm or the shirt over its arm. There we go. So just for the record, I never said that colorizing black and white pictures is done in 5 minutes. Well, you can do it in 5 minutes. I can do this one in 5 minutes easily, but we want a good result, or at least try, because actually I only did a few pictures, not a lot of them. So I hope this one won't be a fail. It would be a shame for the tutorial. But as far as I know, we should be good. So this is the white of his shirt. Well, while we're at it, let's do Oliver as well. That takes already up a big portion of the time we need. shirt is so wide that I barely see where I'm at with my cursor, but it's all good. All right, then for here, um, just gonna mark some white stuff. Okay, maybe here I should be more precise. Because if you're not precise and I will, for example, grade the jeans later on, well, it will create like some sort of feather on your image. Sorry. So what will happen? He will apply the color to this, and the feather will cause that the color will spread a bit further on, and we don't want that, of course. We want the colors to be, or yeah, to have them just where they are needed and not everywhere in the picture. So. But of course, as with all new things that you're trying out, it's always like a bit of trial and error. Sometimes things work out very soon. Sometimes it doesn't work out at all. I had it too. I had some problems with other software that after a few hours I was like, nah, never mind. But this is so cool that I don't want to give up on this. So I have the white. So we're gonna select, we already did this. Okay, that's good. So what say that we do the jeans now? So we go to fabric jeans. So you have a lot of colors as well. So I don't want the jeans to be too saturated. I just want it to be like a bit grayish, like not those colors, not those either, but maybe somewhere here or here. Like, I don't know, this one. I'm gonna try this one. Um, I will quickly mark again around his legs, because later on we will have to replace the soil or the color of the soil with like a brownish color. So if I don't align this properly, then we gonna have some troubles in the end. Um, that. It's always exciting actually, because after I've done this, I'm gonna render the image, and sometimes you can already see like, it starts to look good, or sometimes you say like, okay, this is gonna fail horribly. So not quite sure which one it's gonna be yet, but guess we'll find out in a moment. So here, what I'm gonna do, I'm just gonna close off like this. Here I don't have to be too precise, because actually the white is already has already its boundaries, so shouldn't be worrying too much, I think. Like I said, I just have the software today, so maybe my statements are not so correct, but as from the picture I did already, I did a few of them, it should be like that. So this is the jeans. We have one or two pieces more here. And we're gonna try to do his tie as well. Now, sometimes it's a gamble. Like the tie, what color was it? What fabric was it? Maybe it was jeans, maybe it wasn't at all. But to me, it looks a bit like jeans, but it looks a lot more grayish than it is blue. You can see that in the difference of grays. So you cannot really get a color out of the grays. I mean, like in your head. I mean, I can make the jeans even red as far as we know. I mean, you can do whatever you want with it, but of course, I want to try to have the color as realistic as possible. Okay, maybe one more here. We'll see what it does. One more here. Oh, and this here. But it has alignment already around it, so let's just draw two lines and see what it does. Okay, let's see what it comes up with. You can already see in the image here that it's starting to look pretty neat. So the loading is done. Took again a couple of minutes. It's a big picture. So here you can see that it's already starting to get a bit shape, but it's not perfect. Like his fingers are all bluish. I don't know what the guy did. Here there's a small brown piece. Actually, it's still the skin tone where we have to blur out. But you can clearly see where the boundaries are set. Like here where boundaries made, if we go to editor, you can see it. We have the white boundaries. So the color doesn't go out of the boundaries. But on top of the skin tones, there are no boundaries yet. Or at the bottom of the jeans, there's nothing else yet. And this you can see in the result, that the brownish color is spreading on top and the bluish on the bottom. So setting boundaries is very important. Here I just put, if I'm not mistaken, yeah, just 2 lines, and it worked out pretty well. Maybe a little detail here. So once you have one item really outlined well, the rest should follow. What I forgot, and I see it now, is his tie. So let's get back to the editor and let's have a look for his tie. So I want his tie more grayish, maybe this. Let's see what it does. Just gonna draw a line. There we go. And we will check later on if it did something. Now for his fingers, because you saw here his fingers are bluish. We don't want that. So we go back to the draw board. Here in the history, you can see all the colors that you've used already in your project. So I'm guessing this is my skin tone, right? Right. Okay. So we're gonna line out a little bit his fingers, just like that, just to prevent the blue color from coming in. There you go. So I'm gonna take the line tool. I don't know why, but I start to like it more and more. Again, the lines that I'm drawing here are not really the lines or the shape of the finger, or that will you see in the result, I mean. It's just like setting a quick boundary to the image. There we go. All right. So, you know what? Let me do this as well, because if we're gonna start doing the soil on the bottom here with I don't know, it will be probably brownish, then it's gonna be messed up. So I'm gonna do this right away. There you go. All right. So, um, maybe I can quickly do this just to align his head a little bit. There you go. Then let's do is their heads. So I'm gonna take a fabric. Actually, I don't care too much which one. That's like a bluish color. I'd prefer it to be more like black. So um, yeah, that's black enough. So we're just gonna draw quickly a line around his head. There you go. Same thing for him. Whoops. Just so we are, because the color actually is already pretty good. It is still grayscale, but since it's black, it's already good. But we want to preserve this color later on, so it can be interesting that you make this black. Now, while I'm in black, I can see, whoops, I can see a tire here of the wheel. So we might wanna make this black too. Just draw a line. This looks kind of whitish, so why don't we just go and do that? But it's a metal, so we have metals here as well. And let's take, it's a bit rusty, so we don't want to take like white, but I don't know, yeah, a bit like this color. So we're gonna go around here, try to not mess up. Okay, I'm gonna take my line tool. That was too far. There you go. All right, so the wheel is done. While we're down here, maybe we might want to have a look at the soil. So we have we have also ground somewhere. Ground. Many colors for ground. So now it's a bit guessing like what color would the ground have? Well, it's definitely soil, like with some gravel on it. So I want it to be a little bit brown, but not too much. So this one will be also a trial and error. I'm thinking about this one. I have no clue. Let's just have a look. Let's draw a few lines. There we go. Even behind the wheels, just for detail. And you know what? Let's render it. See what it does. Okay, so everything has rendered. It looks okay. Like the fingers that we wanted to correct are better, not good yet. There's still some defaults in it. Just yeah. Also the blue here is not so good because we have here outlines of that blue. So we have to um, expand the brown color. I just need to know if this color is okay for the ground, but to me, yeah, it looks quite all right. So let's expand the color here. The thing now is that I need to see what I'm doing because this looks like a tire, like a tire. So an inside tire. So I might want to make that black later on. There we go. Especially where you have the boundaries of the other colors, like here, like the blue one. You might want to add a border of the new color or the inside color, like this. There is a chain here, so we might want to give that another color later on. I'm guessing that this is a behind of the scenes picture of the episode Toad in a Hole from Laurel and Hardy. Not quite sure, but I guess so. If I see all the attributes that are on set. Okay, and this one here. In case you didn't know yet, it's going to be a little bit of a long movie, a little bit of a long video to watch. But I'm trying to learn you guys something, so why not? And actually, I'm at the same time learning myself some new stuff, so talk about a win-win situation, right? Okay. Oh, this is something else. I think I have it mostly. Then, before we continue, I have a part of Oliver's hand here that I really need to redo because it was not okay. Then there was some bluish left here, so we're gonna fix that as well. Actually, my blue line is a bit too far, but we'll see where it goes. It's a bit crispy actually here. I'm a bit surprised of this. So we're gonna try smoothing this out a bit. Of course, I'm quite zoomed in now, so you see a lot of those details. Actually, his fingers were really visible. Was there something else like here? We might want. Okay, but we have to do the other color first. So, okay, that is that. Now let's have a look at this here. This looks like a piece of woodwork. So we have to try to find a color that matches a bit with this. So I'm going to take my line tool already. And now let's have a look what color should we give this. Like not too bright, not too dark either, and not too vibrant. It has to be somewhere in between, as for all the colors actually. So, that's too much. Let's try this color. So again, same story. We're gonna try to align this as good as possible. There we go. Here we have a yellow border, so a white border, so I think we should be fine. We will see in a minute. Okay, this is the wood. I'm quickly gonna check if there's something else that's wood here. Actually, this looks like a wooden plank or something. Okay. All right, then before we render, well, actually, not quite sure. It's a metal piece of the car they're sitting on. Okay, never mind. So we're gonna try making this. So it's a metal. It's a part of the car. It's a metal, but I'm not quite sure what color it was. But it seems like kind of a black car, mostly black. Yeah. So let's select this part. There we go. Actually, what has to be gray or black or white, you don't really have to gray this because it is already grayish. So, okay, so we have some new things that we did. So let's render it again. Let's see what it does. Okay, that is done. So as you can see, it starts to get a little bit better. This is the original version, okay, with the lines on it, but this is the original version. We've come to this point already, so which is quite good, but of course the background is still gray, so we need to fix that. That's exactly what we're gonna do right now. So the wood color is okay for me, but you can see that it's like fading out here, probably because of the white line. So, whoops, not with the black, but with this. So I have to do it anyway. I have to set the boundaries till where actually the white can glow out. So the line I'm drawing now is actually like saying to the white color, like, okay, from this part you cannot fade out anymore. So I'm going to do the same here. I'm going to take the line tool. Actually, the line tool is not always so good, but my hand isn't either, so damn. Gonna try not to mess it up. Okay, there we go. So that should solve that. What I remember is this part here. It keeps annoying me actually. So let's take the jeans color. Is it this color? Yeah. And let's just draw a line here. That should solve that. Now let's have a look at the building over here. So it looks like it was a wooden building, which are most of the houses in America, especially in greater parts of California. So let's have a look. Before we do that, maybe we can outline the white board here. There's a clearly white board, and even the window sills are white as well. So let's take woodwork. I don't know if we can select a white color. No, but we have trunk. Why not? So let's line that out. There you go. And here, well, there's not really much to line out, just a thin piece of wood. This is a window, we will attend to that later on. And then we have the wood, of course. But we have to have a good look because here it seems that there's like a bush or something. This is like steering column, which is a metal. So let's give it a color then. This is more brownish. That's not exactly what I want. More not either. That'll probably do. Or what we can do is increase the brush size a lot more and draw a line like that and increase it even more and draw a line just through there. There we go. Now, for the wood, again, woodwork. So we need to give this shed a color. Now it's a wooden shed. It's not exactly the same as this piece of tree actually. It's like processed wood. So I suppose that because of the weather, even it doesn't rain a lot in California, but still because of the weather, it will have been grayed out a little bit. So I'm not gonna take like a real brown color. I'm gonna tend more to take a more grayish color and not too dark either. So maybe you should look here somewhere. Hmm, okay, turn on then. I'm gonna take this one. We're gonna go with this one and we're gonna have a look. So we're gonna set those boundaries again. Not too far. We need the white to fade out a bit because it's the blurry side of the picture. So we want to give it the space to blur out. Here we have that color too, up to his neck. There we go. We are setting boundaries again. Well, the contrast in this picture is quite high, so it makes that the details will be a lot visible. By which I mean that if there are some smaller parts that are not perfectly aligned, you will see it in this image. They're not all like this. There's a lot of stuff going on in the picture, so yeah, it's a thing that we have to keep in mind while doing this. But it's a quick tutorial, but not quick tutorial, but I just don't want to go too much in detail. Otherwise, we will have a 2-hour tutorial and I will have no sleep at all. So no, we're not gonna do that. But of course, if you wanna fine tune it, it's exactly in the same way as what we're doing now. It's just more in detail, more zoom work, more lines, more colors. But the more detail you put in it, of course, the better it will look afterwards. So this is the wooden shed, I think. Before we're gonna render it, I'm gonna try to give this bush a little color too. So we go to leaves. I think it's a bush. I'm not sure yet, but I think it is. So let's give it a color. Again, I don't want it to be too vibrant, too green. It's like I want it to be a subtle green. It's a personal choice, you guys. It's like somebody will say, or I had already reactions on Reddit, somebody who's saying like, yeah, your colors are too flat. Can be, but I prefer to be too flat than that people will say, okay, this is like the worst Photoshop I've ever seen. So let's give it like a green, a subtle green color. I'm gonna go with this one, or yeah, this one. We're gonna see. For now, we're just gonna draw it like that. Not sure yet where I'm heading to with it. And yeah, we have some leaves here as well, but I'm not sure yet. I'm gonna leave it with this. I'm gonna zoom out a little bit, and I'm gonna render it. So the image has rendered. So what do we see here? Well, starts to look pretty good actually. Just the only thing I don't like too much is the straight lines you have here. So maybe we can, I don't know, maybe we can edge that out a little bit. But the colors itself start to look good. The only thing I'm not so sure of is this part here. If you see, it's more white, like I think it's a part of a car or some wood or something. So I'm gonna leave this part out and I'm gonna give it like a more white color. The rest started to look good. I need to enter or to add a window here. We will do this later on. His shoes, but they're going to need another color because it's like blending in with the soil. I don't want it to happen. And this blue here has to go as well as the blue they're sitting on because it's, in the end it's a metal. It should be the same of this, although it looks more white. We're gonna have a look to that. We're gonna change that right now. Change this. So okay, let's get to it. So I'm gonna say it's wood. Not sure, but I'm gonna give this a bit of a change because the green was definitely not right. You can sometimes you just feel when a color is not right. So then we go to the metal. Let's take like something dark grayish. There we go. Then this part should be more whitish. Okay, let's just draw a line like this because we have many borders around. This one might be a bit more tricky. So we're just gonna do it like that. Not sure how I can feather out these straight lines because in my other pictures that I tried, I didn't really have them as much as I do have now. Or maybe it is because I'm using the line tool too much. Could be as well. So maybe I will, after this, try to use a little bit less. The brown can go here. Okay. Then, while we're down here, let's give this guy some shoes or some better colored shoes. So I'm gonna take some fabric. Don't really care too much which one. And I'm gonna give it like a good brown color. Oh, whoop, like this. And I said I wasn't going to use the line tool anymore, so I'm gonna just do like this. There we go. Maybe this guy too. Okay. So now this is done. Let's move on to the next one, or maybe, nah, let's move on first. So what else do we see? I have to zoom out a little bit to see it better. This is clearly a boat, and it is indeed from the episode Out in a Hole. This is a boat, and it's all white. So let's attend to that later on. Now you have to guess what color this guy his shirt had. Now in when you look at the grayscale, you can tell it's like more of a light color, but it was not white either. So was it like a little bluish, a little yellowish? I'm actually not sure at all. So yeah, we have to guess now. What do you say if we give him like, mm, ooh, so many colors. There's so many colors that I didn't even discover them yet. Let's say we give him like a grayish bluish shirt. Okay, let's try that and let's see what it gives on the final image. Maybe it looks good, maybe it looks crap. Let's do his pants too. I suppose they're like not black but like very dark brown. I think maybe like this. Yeah, it could be like this. There you go. We can attend to that later on. Here we need a little bit of skin tone too, I think. Although it is far away, and although there's not too much skin that is visible, I still think that we should include it. And maybe take a little bit darker because it's a bit farther away. Let's try this one. I really don't know, but let's try. Okay, now let's render it again. So, rendered out, it looks already a lot better. The shoes are looking a little bit more realistic. And the shirt, the blue shirt, actually is not too bad at all. So, and the skin tones, I like them as well. He exactly knew where to put the skin tone, so which is good. The white part here is better too, but the pants I don't like. It's clearly not a correct color. So we're gonna edit this and we gonna actually I did it already off camera. There was a problem with my recording software. So the only thing I did off camera was replacing the brown color with a jeans color because maybe he was wearing a jeans after all. So yeah, that is that. Now let's have a look. What is this? I think it is a part of the car, and a part of the car should be a metal color. Whoops. And I think it should be like grayish, something like this maybe. Yeah. Because if you look in the end image, it looks like brown as well because of no boundaries of that color. So let's just do that. There you go. Okay, the skin tone is done. Maybe we should find a color for the steering wheel. I'm not quite sure. Maybe it was just like a metal color. It was aluminum. I don't know. Kind of see what this gives. I want a bit of that silver look thing. So let's just try this out. Okay. Then, before I forget it, let's check the color. Yeah, it looks quite black. Those letters here, I really want them to stand out. So I'm gonna recreate them a little bit. Try to. There you go. Those small ones, yeah, you cannot do it at all. So now I see it as well that we have that window still here. So where did I see this? Glass. There you go. So it's also difficult, like what color to choose. Like the reflection is not like a blue sky, or for all we know. So let's maybe make it a little bit neutral. Let's just color this in and we'll see later on. But I see here also a windowsill that we might want to give a little grade as well. There we go. Now, we really need to take care of the background. It's really not clear, but this looks all leaves to me, a few branches, this maybe too. So yeah, let's see what we can find. So here we have like wood trunk. So here you have many colors of trunks of trees. Let's pick one. This really looks like those are branches. Maybe they're not, then too bad. This looks like a huge one actually to me. There you go. Then for the leaves, because this is going to be a hard one. Well, the color itself is not a hard one. You see here leaves. You have all the possible colors of leaves. So we're going to make it a little bit greenish. Again, not too vibrant, not too colorful, not too heavy, like not this green or this green, but somewhere in the middle, like those ones maybe. Okay, and let's give it a few tries. See what it does. I honestly have no clue at all. So, okay, we'll see. Let's render it. See you in a minute. Okay, so the rendering is done. Well, to be honest, it looks like shit. First of all, the color is not good. It's too greenish. That's exactly what I didn't want to happen. So this is not good. I think if we change this, then it can already change a lot of stuff. Like those trees here look quite alright. So let's get back to the editor, the eraser. Let's get rid of those colors. I'm gonna make this a little bit bigger. There we go. So the green is really, it's too much. That's exactly what I mean with like subtle colors. Like this is not good at all. It doesn't even look nice, you know. Okay, so let's pick another color and a little more subtle this time. Like maybe this one. I have no idea. Looks already better. Still thinking what this here might be. It's like, looks a little bit like a shed. Something in the background, but cannot really put my finger on it. So first let's check out what the changes that you can already see in the small preview. That looks already a little bit better. So I'm happy for that. Also, those letters, I forgot about them. They look better as well. Okay, so this green looks way, way better. But this here looks a little bit strange. So maybe you have to outline this better. But it starts to look pretty okay to my feelings. So first of all, what got my eye was here. So the leaves here were getting a little bit brown because of this brown. Gonna fill this up a little bit more. Then here, I don't know, it's a gamble. Maybe I just put out the branches. Maybe I don't know. Let's take the brown of the branches again. Because the problem is that I don't want I don't want that white glow, you know, in the result. You see that there is like the green and the branch, but you have like that white glow, and actually I want this out. So here it's, yeah, also a little bit like that, because we need the green here too. And actually this, I'm gonna try it, but I'm not sure if it will work. This should be blue, because these are clearly parts of the blue sky that you can see through the trees. So sky, and here as well, let's take a relaxing blue color. I don't want flashy blue, I just want easy blue. I'm not sure. Let's go with this one. So like this. There we go. Not sure yet how big my marker has to be. Here we have some blue stuff too. Here too. I just hope that it won't be too much. You know what I'm saying? Like that in the end you will see like blue orbs floating around. That's really not what I'm waiting for actually. So let's try to finish this off. And before we go further on, let's see what it does here. Okay, so it's rendered. So actually the blue I like. It really looks kind of realistic. I just have to add a few more of them. But this here is not so good. This really doesn't look too well. So um, what say if we just redid this? Just gonna erase this. Like I said before, it's trial and error. Maybe I mess it up completely, maybe I won't. So let's now take the green again. Let's just fill this up with green till here. There you go. Then I want the blue to add a few more blue points, because there are a few more points that we should, whoops, include. Okay, there we go. Here too, or had maybe already one. Okay, now let's see again what it does. Okay, so the rendering has done, and to me it looks actually a little bit better. Just the hat here is getting that that green color, as well as the top side of the boat should be white. So let's work a little bit on that. Maybe I'm gonna see if I can get rid of those sharp lines here. I'm not sure. I'm gonna have a look. And yeah, the rest starting to look pretty good. So let's get not the white stuff, but a little bit more like this. There we go. like that. Gonna select his hat because maybe it got included as well as the guy his shirt. There you go. Nope, that was not so good. Gonna stop and start again. If I have to go back, then I don't lose everything. There we go. And now let's have a brief look at this. Let's just erase this for a moment. Okay. So now I'm gonna take the white again. There it is. And I'm gonna take the, not sure which color it was actually. This color? Nope. This color? Nope. This? Nope. That's close enough. There we go. I'm really curious to see if now it will be a little bit more better. Okay, let's have a look. So now it's rendered. It looks quite better, like the white here, but this here still looks like shit. So maybe you have to blur it out a little bit with Photoshop. So let's leave it for now. Now what I see here is the blue color on the guy's ears, because he has two. So I want to solve this before ending this tutorial. I want to include a tire and I want to try to make this chain look like a chain. So let's get right back here. First of all, what I saw, am I having the right color? That is here has that brown color too. So let's quickly draw a border. There we go. Then I need the black again because here we clearly have a tire. I'm gonna select it. I'm not gonna border it. We'll see what it does. And here we have the chain. Now it's not really like a typical metal looking chain, sorry. It's like a dark one. So let's go with a dark gray. Yeah, something like that. Just gonna go like that. Then is there something else I need to change? Maybe the guy's socks. They're probably, whoops, probably black. So let's give him that color, and this guy here has a white one. So quickly looking, I think we're pretty good down here. So let's render this again. So rendering is done, and we see that already looks quite a lot better. We still have a bit of that brown here. Yeah, his socks too. Okay, doesn't look that good. So let's quickly go over that. Nope. Let's have the right color here. So let's quickly define the socks. Again, this is actually fine-tuning. So what I'm doing now is actually the work that I wasn't really planning on doing in this video. I'm not gonna do it in this video. I just wanna show that there are some things that you can change. So let's render it one more time and then we're done. Okay, there you have it, folks. So this is how you colorize black and white pictures using this program Codijy or whatever it's called. It looks pretty good. Okay, I'm gonna be honest with you. There are many details that are lacking here. I'm talking about maybe the color of the boat. I know the color is mostly white, but you can put whatever you want in it. The leaves here on the back are probably not 100% accurate with the reality, but it's quite alright. It looks good. The only thing bothering me is the crisp lines you see here. So maybe it's something we can blur out in Photoshop. But in the end, this is where we came from. Let's put those layers out. So this is the original picture, and we made this of it. I think we did quite a good job, didn't we? And of course, again, it's my first day. I'm just using this program. If I put in a lot of more time in each picture, then I can really do this very detailed. Maybe if you use those special tablets where you can draw on, could be good as well, because with the mouse it's not always so easy. But let's say for what did we use, like half an hour, something like that. In half an hour, it's pretty nicely done. Okay, I forgot still a few details, but you know how it's done. So this is how you do it, of this, or this is how you start doing it. So it's up to you to fine tune it. Good luck.